Morning, everybody. So let's get started with the Aussie. The US had a proper meltdown yesterday, which is probably going to affect the Aussie quite substantially today. So I think the first thing we're going to do is let's just start with weekly Kijinsen here. Okay, so you can see this is the previous low, and it was tested here a couple of times, and it also coincides with weekly Kijinsen. Okay, now currently futures market is sitting at 54.80, which is below the weekly Kijinsen. Okay, so it's actually pretty close to the low of the week. So at this stage, we can expect this turning into a rejection bar. Okay. And the other thing we need to take cognizance of is, just draw this line properly. Actually, let's draw it on the daily. It'll be a bit easier. So this trend line here, okay, so you can see yesterday we kind of came pretty close to it and then turned around. And we're using the 100 EMA as well as the bottom of the cloud as resistance. Now, we did have a bullish crossover here, but it wasn't pointing up. The cloud is heading straight, which is always a concern. And you can see here you've got a bullish crossover of Tikinson and Kijinsen, but if you look at what's happened the last 3 days, it's just gone flat, which indicates there's no direction. Okay, and right now we are sitting with another little trend line here. Okay, which I suspect we are probably going to break today. So there's a couple of scenarios that may play out. So we may only just drop to the 200-day moving average, okay, or we may drop to Tikinson, or we're going to have a meltdown similar to the US. Now, if I look at what Europe has been doing while the US has been so volatile, Europe, for example, the FTSE is bucking the trend, and the DAX does follow the US a bit, but not to the degree that it used to. And essentially, we've been also doing our own thing. Okay, so I suppose we'll have to wait and see what happens this afternoon. And if you take from there where we are, so the futures market is down not that much, roughly 1% at the moment. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. And with 10 cent down 2%, I suspect we're going to have a bit of a meltdown as well. So I think today is a short day, looking for shorts. And let's just see. The areas that we are going to find, I think let's get rid of this trend line. The areas that we will find some resistance and what's coming down to support will be here to start with. Okay. Once this Kijinsen breaks, you can expect the 100 moving average next. Okay. And then possibly looking to the left and keep watching these tails. So weekly Kijinsen is going to be the first level. The second level is going to be these tails. Now there's so many of them that I would just take a average. So I'll take this one here because you've got 3 crosses on it, and then these 3 are pretty close. Let's just look to the left. actually what we can do is just bring it to there. So we've got that tail, and those three tails. And that's pretty close to S3 daily as well. So it's 390 points from where we are now. So that's kind of the area that we'd be looking at. Now, a break below this level here is going to bring us a target of 49,440, which will be down over here. Okay. So, because this will turn out to be a double top if we break below here. So yeah, there is a lot of support. I mean, the cloud, if you look at the cloud is extremely thick at the moment. So there's a lot of support in this area. I suppose it all depends on whether we're going to melt down similar to the US or whether we're just going to retrace slightly and continue on our merry way up. Just get down to the hour and we can have another squiz here. So from the hour perspective, you can see we have had a crossover. I'll just delete that rectangle. So we have had a crossover of Tekinson and Kijinson, and we're sort of sitting in between the two. The cloud is still pointing up, it hasn't crossed over there, and Sikuspan is still above price and pretty much everything at the moment. So that's the only bearish signal that we've received. So I would suspect what you're going to need to do is we're going to obviously gap down. And the question is how far we're going to gap down. And if we're gapping down to 480, I mean, that's pretty much close to S3 daily. So it's pretty close to this bottom line here, which is a pretty big gap. And then you'd expect a little bit of a bounce at the open and then continuation down. Okay, and yeah. So yeah, so I think just watch what happens at the open. From the bounce down, there should be some kind of a bit of profit taking from the people that were short yesterday. So they would get to this level and take profit. So there'll be a bit of bounce with the profit taking and test the underside of the cloud. If that test holds, then you can expect a continuation to play short to the downside. And then just watch your levels. This is obviously the first level we're looking for. I'm just going to delete that one there. We know this is a weekly Kijinson, so that's out of play. And in actual fact, where there will be a lot of support, we're far from that at the moment, is weekly Tekinson, which is there. Let's make it blue and come back to the hour. So that area there will be a lot of support. Now, nothing's impossible, but from where we are sitting currently, that would be another 796 point move. So yeah, so I'd watch this area. You can expect a bit of it won't be much of a bounce back. I'll be surprised if the gap closes, but it is the Aussie, so expect the unexpected. So it could very well close the gap, but I think for me it'll be a test of either the underside of the cloud or a test of these pin bars here, all of these pin bars here before it turns around. Okay, bear in mind that you do have the 200-hour MA sitting here, so that would be an area of resistance as well. If that goes, then expect this level and the weekly Keatinson, weekly Teakinson. So yeah, short it is today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later.